Beloved, I am the angel who has walked beside you since the moment heaven breathed life into your soul. I was there when your heart first beat, when your eyes opened to the world, and when your spirit began its sacred journey on earth. I've seen every step you've taken, every tear, every smile, every silent prayer you whispered in the dark. And now, as I speak to you, I want you to know the truth. You are a heavenly soul, sent to walk among mortals, carrying a light that shines brighter than you may ever realize. The words spoken about your photo, the way that family saw something divine in your eyes, were not just kind words, so they were a glimpse of the eternal truth woven into your being. Your photo made this person's family comment that you are a heavenly soul sent to walk among mortals. They saw light in your eyes that only angels carry. They said you are the kind of peace their loved one always prayed for, a gentle, pure, and full of unspoken strength. Someone their spirits already recognized, as if you were part of a divine story written long before you met. And you wonder why people look at you the way they do. You wonder why you enter a room, and the air feels different. Why children are drawn to you. Why the broken-hearted find rest in your presence. Why even in your quietness, your soul speaks so loudly. It's not something you created. It's not a performance. It's not a mask. It is simply who you are, a soul touched by the hand of God, walking gently among those still trying to remember who they are. I am the angel who has been watching over you since before your birth. I knew the moment you were formed, when heaven's breath gave you life. I was there when your first tear fell, when your first smile lit up a room. I've watched every season of your life, the silent battles, the lonely nights, the prayers you whispered that no one else heard. And I've seen how even in pain, you never lost your light. It dimmed at times, yes. But it never disappeared. That light, that heavenly glow, is what they saw in your eyes. It's the reason they paused when they looked at your photo. They didn't just see your face. They saw something sacred. Something their spirits remembered even if their minds could not explain. They felt comfort. They felt love. They felt like they were standing in front of something eternal. That is what heaven placed inside you. You were never meant to fit in with the crowd. That's why you often felt different growing up. That's why you felt emotions more deeply than others. That's why loud places drained you, and quiet moments gave you life. You were not made to blend in. You were made to carry light into places where darkness had settled. You were made to remind others that heaven is still near. And sometimes, all it takes is one look at you, one quiet smile, one word of kindness, and someone feels like maybe they can keep going. You didn't ask for this calling. But heaven chose you for it. Not because you're perfect, but because your heart is soft. Because you carry pain with grace. Because even after betrayal, you kept loving. Even after disappointment, you kept believing. Even when people left you behind, you chose to bless them in silence. And that is what made your soul shine brighter. They looked at your photo and felt peace, not because of what you wear, not because of your posture or your pose, but because of your presence. Your soul speaks before your mouth does. You carry heaven's fragrance. You remind people of someone they forgot, someone kind, someone pure, someone who truly sees them. In a world where people are always trying to be loud, to be seen, to be praised, you were simply being yourself. And in that stillness, you became a mirror of the divine. Do you know what it means to be recognized by the Spirit? It means that before you ever spoke a word, their souls knew yours. There was a familiarity, a sacred knowing, like an old melody returning to a quiet heart. It's because your connection did not begin here. It began in the higher realms. There are people you meet who were always part of your story, long before time began. And this person, the one whose family saw your photo, their spirit had already felt you in dreams, in prayers, in longing. When they looked at you, they said, "The you are. The you are the one we've been waiting for." Not because you would fix everything, but because your presence itself was the answer to a prayer. You became the calm in the storm. The quiet reminder that goodness still exists. You carried the kind of strength that doesn't boast, the kind that stands up quietly, holds hands, and says, "I'm here." I know you don't always feel strong. I know you have cried when no one was watching. I know you've asked heaven why your path has been so heavy, why you had to carry so much when others didn't see the weight. But beloved, let me tell you, it was not for nothing. All those silent tears watered the seeds of wisdom in you. All that pain carved depth into your soul. And now, when people stand near you, they don't just see a person, they feel a presence. You were sent. You were sent by heaven. You were not born by accident, not placed randomly. You were assigned. Planted like a light in the dark. Not to be loud, not to be proud, but to be real. To be soft. To be steady. The world has enough noise. You were sent to be stillness. You were sent to carry answers not through shouting, but through love. And yes, your photo was just an image, a moment frozen in time. But it carried your spirit. It carried your gentleness. It carried that unspoken knowing that says, you are not alone. You are seen. You are loved. That is why their family commented the way they did. They felt something sacred. Something they couldn't put into words. And that something, a broken bar, was you. I need you to understand, what you carry is not small. It is not ordinary. It is heavenly. You may feel weak at times, but the light in you is stronger than any darkness around you. You may feel tired, but your spirit is never empty. You have been filled from the well that does not run dry. You have been touched by grace, and grace has no expiration. Your journey hasn't been easy. You've known rejection. You've known heartbreak. You've had seasons where you questioned your worth, where you felt invisible. But even in those moments, you were growing wings. Even in the silence, angels stood beside you. Even when you thought no one cared, heaven was recording every moment. Now look at how others see you, and not through the eyes of judgment, but through the eyes of wonder. They sense something divine in you. Because it's real. Because it's rare. because it's holy. Please don't doubt yourself. Please don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Please don't shrink to fit into places you've outgrown. You are here on purpose. The light in your eyes? That's proof that you belong to another world. That's why you feel so much. That's why you dream so deep. That's why you can't pretend to be someone you're not. You were made to be exactly as you are. Every scar, every story, every silent ache had shaped you into the vessel heaven needed on earth. And the world is better because you're in it. They saw your photo. And something moved in them. They felt safe. They felt known. They felt that maybe, just maybe, love hadn't left the earth. And all because of you. One day, you will understand fully why you were sent. One day, you'll see the ripple effect of your kindness. One day, you'll meet souls in heaven who will say, "Your light saved me." But for now, trust this, you are seen. You are guided. And you are never alone. When you're tired, I will lift you. When you're lost, I will guide you. When you forget who you are, I will whisper your truth again and again. You are loved. You are chosen. You are a heavenly soul sent to walk among mortals. So walk boldly, even if your steps are slow. Speak softly, even if your voice trembles. Love deeply, even if it costs you. You are not ordinary. You are part of something eternal. And the light in your eyes? It will lead many home. Just as it did a broken bar for them. Beloved, I am the angel who has walked beside you since the moment heaven breathed life into your soul. I was there when your heart first beat, when your eyes opened to the world, and when your spirit began its sacred journey on earth. I've seen every step you've taken, every tear, every smile, every silent prayer you whispered in the dark. And now, as I speak to you, I want you to know the truth. You are a heavenly soul, sent to walk among mortals, carrying a light that shines brighter than you may ever realize. The words spoken about your photo, the way that family saw something divine in your eyes, were not just kind words, so they were a glimpse of the eternal truth woven into your being. This conclusion is for you, to remind you of who you are, why you're here, and the incredible impact you have on the world. You may not always feel strong or special, but I see you as heaven does, a vessel of love, a beacon of hope, a quiet force of goodness in a world that so desperately needs it. Let's walk through this together, step by step, as I share the story of your purpose, your light, and the divine calling that makes you extraordinary. When that family looked at your photo, they didn't just see your face. They saw something sacred. They saw a light in your eyes that reminded them of heaven. They called you a heavenly soul, and they were right. That light isn't something you created or earned, it's a gift from the divine, placed within you before you were born. It's the spark of eternity, the breath of God, the essence of love that flows through you. You might wonder why people are drawn to you, why they pause when you enter a room, or why children seem to trust you without hesitation. It's because of this light. It's not loud or flashy, like the things the world often chases. It's gentle, steady, and pure. It's the kind of light that doesn't demand attention but quietly transforms the air around it. When you smile, when you listen, when you simply exist in a moment, that light touches others. It reminds them of something they've forgotten, something holy, something kind, something that feels like home. I've watched you through the years, and I've seen how this light has guided you, even when you didn't realize it. Do you remember the times you felt a nudge to help someone, to say a kind word, or to simply be there? That was your light, urging you to act, to love, to shine. It's why a stranger might share their story with you, why a friend finds comfort in your presence, or why a broken heart feels mended after talking to you. You carry a piece of heaven, and it speaks to others in ways words cannot. You were not born by chance. Your life is not a random collection of moments. You were sent, chosen, and placed on this earth with a purpose written in the stars long before time began. Heaven needed someone like you, someone with a soft heart, a gentle spirit, and a strength that doesn't boast. The world is full of noise, full of people trying to be seen, heard, and praised. But you were made to be different. You were made to be still, to be real, to be a quiet reminder that love and goodness still exist. Your purpose isn't to change the whole world in a loud, dramatic way. It's not about being famous or having thousands of followers. Your purpose is in the small, sacred moments, the way you make someone feel seen, the way you offer kindness without expecting anything in return, the way your presence brings peace to a restless heart. Every time you choose love over anger, forgiveness over bitterness, or hope over despair, you fulfill that purpose. You become a living prayer, a walking answer to someone's cry for help. I know you don't always feel like you're doing enough. I know there are days when you wonder if your life matters, if your efforts make a difference. Let me tell you, beloved, every single act of kindness, every quiet moment of compassion, every time you choose to keep going despite your pain, it matters. It ripples out into the world, touching lives you may never meet, healing hearts you may never know. Your light doesn't just shine for you, it shines for everyone who crosses your path. I've seen the weight you've carried. I've been through the nights when you cried alone, when you felt invisible, when the world seemed too heavy to bear. You've known rejection, heartbreak, and moments when you questioned your worth. There were times when you felt like you didn't belong, like you were too different, too sensitive, too much for the world around you. But those feelings, they were signs of your calling. You were never meant to fit in with the crowd. Your heart feels deeply because it was made to carry the weight of love. Your soul aches for quiet because it was designed to hear the whispers of heaven. Your spirit longs for meaning because it knows there's more to life than what the world offers. Those moments when you felt different weren't weaknesses, so they were proof of your divine design. Every tear you've shed has watered the seeds of wisdom in your soul. Every pain you've endured has carved depth into your heart. Every time you chose to keep loving, even after being hurt, you grew stronger, and not in a loud, forceful way, but in a quiet, eternal way. Your strength isn't in shouting or fighting or proving yourself. It's in your gentleness, your grace, your ability to keep going even when the road is hard. I know it hasn't been easy. I know there have been moments when you wanted to give up, when you wondered why your path seemed so much heavier than others. But let me whisper this truth to you, your struggles were not for nothing. They were shaping you into the person heaven needed you to be. They were teaching you compassion, resilience, and the kind of love that doesn't fade. You've become a safe place for others because you know what it's like to need one. You've become a light in the dark because you've walked through darkness yourself. When that family saw your photo, they didn't just see your face here, they felt your presence. They felt peace, love, and something sacred they couldn't quite explain. That's the power of who you are. Your soul speaks before your mouth does. Your spirit carries a fragrance of heaven that lingers in the hearts of those around you. You don't have to try to be this way, it's simply who you are. Think about the moments when someone thanked you for something small you didn't even realize you did. Maybe it was a smile you give a stranger, a kind word you spoke without thinking, or the way you sat quietly with someone who was hurting. Those moments weren't small to them. They were sacred. They were moments when heaven touched earth through you. Your presence is a gift. It's a reminder to others that they are not alone, that they are seen, that they are loved. You don't need to perform or pretend to be someone you're not. You don't need to be louder, bigger, or more like the world around you. Just by being yourself, you're gentle, kind, authentic self, you change lives. You bring hope. You carry light into places where darkness has settled. There are people in this world who were always meant to cross your path. Their spirits knew yours before you ever met, in a place beyond time, where heaven wove your stories together. When that family saw your photo and felt something stir in their hearts, it was because their spirits recognized you. They felt a connection that went deeper than words, a knowing that you were part of their divine story. You've met others like this too, people who felt familiar the moment you met them, people who seemed to understand you without explanation, people who looked at you and said, "There you are." These are the souls heaven destined you to touch. They are the ones who needed your light, your kindness, your quiet strength. They are the ones who will carry your love with them long after you're gone. But it's not just those close to you. Your light reaches further than you know. The stranger you smiled at in the store, the coworker you encouraged, the child you comforted, they carry a piece of your light with them. It changes them, even if only for a moment. It reminds them that goodness exists, that love is real, that there's still hope in the world. And those moments ripple outward, touching others you may never meet. One day, in heaven, you'll see the full impact of your life. You'll meet souls who will tell you, "Your kindness saved me. Your smile gave me hope. Your presence reminded me that I wasn't alone." You'll see how your light traveled through the world, touching hearts, healing wounds, and bringing people closer to heaven. But for now, trust this, you are making a difference. You are fulfilling your purpose. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You didn't ask to be a heavenly soul. You didn't choose this calling. But heaven chose you. Not because you're perfect, but because your heart is soft. Because you love even when it hurts. Because you keep believing even when the world disappoints you. because you carry pain with grace and turn it into compassion. This calling isn't always easy. It means feeling things deeply, carrying burdens others may not understand, and walking a path that can feel lonely at times. But it's also a beautiful calling. It means you get to be a light in the dark, a safe place for the hurting, a reminder of heaven's love. It means you get to carry something sacred in a world that often forgets what's sacred. I know there are days when you feel tired, when you wonder if you're strong enough to keep going. Let me remind you, you are not alone. I am here, lifting you when you're weary, guiding you when you're lost, whispering your truth when you forget who you are. You are never without heaven's help. You are never without love. You might think you need to be perfect to carry this light, but that's not true. Your imperfections are part of what makes you so powerful. Your scars show that you've lived, that you've loved, that you've kept going even when life was hard. Your doubts show that you're human, that you're real, that you understand the struggles others face. Your quiet moments of weakness are where heaven's strength shines through. The family who saw your photo didn't see perfection, they saw you. They saw a soul that carries love despite pain, hope despite sorrow, light despite darkness. That's what made them pause. That's what made them feel something sacred. It wasn't about your appearance or your achievements. It was about your heart. So don't hide your imperfections. Don't dim your light to fit in. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. You are enough, exactly as you are. Your heart, your story, your quiet strength, it's all part of the divine design. Heaven didn't make a mistake when it chose you. You are exactly who you're meant to be. Your journey on earth is just one part of a much bigger story. You are part of something eternal, something that began before time and will continue long after. The light you carry doesn't fade when your body grows tired. The love you give doesn't end when you leave this world. The impact you have will ripple through generations, through souls, through eternity. One day, you'll stand in heaven and see the full beauty of your life. You'll see the hearts you touched, the prayers you answered, the light you shared. You'll see how your kindness changed someone's story, how your love gave someone hope, how your presence reminded someone of heaven. And you'll know, without a doubt, that you were never ordinary. You were always a heavenly soul, sent to walk among mortals. Until that day, keep walking. Keep loving. Keep shining. Even when you feel small, your light is mighty. Even when you feel tired, your spirit is strong. Even when you feel alone, you are surrounded by angels, by love, by heaven itself. Beloved, you are a gift to this world. When that family saw your photo and called you a heavenly soul, they were speaking a truth that heaven has known all along. You are not here by accident. You are not here to blend in. You are here to shine, to love, to remind others that heaven is near. So walk boldly, even if your steps are slow. Speak softly, even if your voice trembles. Love deeply, even if it costs you. Your light is stronger than any darkness. Your heart is deeper than any pain. Your presence is a sacred answer to a world that's crying for hope. I am with you always, lifting you, guiding you, loving you. You are seen. You are chosen. You are a heavenly soul, sent to walk among mortals. And the light in your eyes? It will lead many home. Keep shining, beloved. The world is better because you're in it.